Well, it looks like Brandon Graham is official. We're going to be talking about Vic Fangio's press conference and A.J. Brown post that probably no one is happy about, and a lot more. So let's get straight into it all. And it is Kelly Green week as well, so I'm ready for it.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Hope everyone is doing well. Here to discuss more Philadelphia Eagles news. A big week this week, but obviously adding more to your pass rush. And it looks like Brandon Graham did sign with the Philadelphia Eagles. It is official. For Brandon Graham was on his podcast the other morning talking about obviously the signing and kind of how everything built up to this moment. And I think it really started with the Super Bowl last year and winning that Super Bowl and kind of convincing himself that he should just go out on how he should go out on 2 Super Bowl wins. And that pretty much didn't really settle with him. And it really started when Howie Roseman actually called Brandon Graham's agent, I think right before the season started. And I think talks were, going on. Now, I believe that the Zadarius Smith signing was because, I think this Brandon Graham didn't make up his mind if he was coming back yet. So they signed a veteran in Zadarius Smith. And then once he retired, I think it really opened the door for Brandon Graham to come back. It looks like his tricep injury is really good. I think it's been, 7-8 months. I don't want people thinking that he's going to be a game changer. I think he's just a big motivation for this team. His trash talking, I think it's going to bring the morale up. Obviously, he's not coming in as a captain because he's not going to have the C on his chest, but, everybody loves him. And, I don't know what he's going to produce this year. If he could stay healthy, great. Maybe like 3 to 5 sacks this year, something like that. But you at least get some type of, something good on the edge, against the run. He'll do a good job there, kind of setting the edge a little bit, which we really need and should bolster this pass rush a lot. And hopefully to God that it's just going to make Jalix Hunt better, maybe produce later on. And then when Nolan Smith comes back, by the way, Nolan Smith on his Instagram had some things to say. It said that he'll be back next week. He's eligible to come back next week, and that will be our bye week most likely, and we'll have pretty much everyone back. Now, will Brandon Graham play this week? Well, there's a lot of rumors that he will play this week. I don't think it's official yet. I think Fangio wants to bring him in and just see what he could do on the field to see how much shape that he is in. And then we'll kind of see down the road what's going to happen if they're going to activate him. Now, Azeez Ojulari is not going to be playing this Sunday, so that's an extra man down, which probably means it will open up for Brandon Graham to come back to see where he is. Fangio is just going to tell Brandon Graham to pin his ears back and attack, and that's pretty much it. I don't think you need too much of a game plan for Brandon Graham this week. And the best part about it is you win this game, you get into your bye week, and Brandon Graham will have some extra rest. A ton of the guys that are on injuries are coming back, and some that are kind of out with some injuries, like Juergens, like guys that really have to rest up. And that bye week is the bye week is just so needed right now. And just getting through one more game is really going to help that to get on that bye with a lot of weeks of rest, which is good. Even though it's rumored that Graham might play this week against the Giants, he is rumored to play most likely against Green Bay on the primetime game coming off the bye week, so we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, we're talking about a sponsor that's going to help you in everyday life, and I think we got it right here. Let's be real. Falling asleep fast isn't always easy, but the Manta Sleep Cool Mask is about to get a whole lot easier. This isn't just a sleep mask, it's a cooling experience for your eyes. The cold eye cups are filled with ceramic beads that stay perfectly chilled, giving you instant cooling relief that reduces puffiness, eases tension, and helps you drift off faster. This isn't just a sleep mask, it's a cooling experience for the eyes. The cold eye cups are filled with ceramic beads that stay perfectly chilled, giving you instant cooling relief that reduces puffiness, eases tension, and helps you drift off faster. No, it's not like putting a frozen gel pack against your skin. It's no burn, no discomfort, no drip, no nothing. It is comfort to the max, and that's what you want. And get this, it delivers true 100% blackout, no light creeping in from the sides, no glow sneaking through your nose bridge. Just total darkness anytime, anywhere. Just a fit, completely adjustable with no eye pressure at all. Not only do they have the cool mask, but they have a lot of different types of editions of this mask that helps you sleep in many different ways for your everyday sleeping needs. And it comes with a really cool on the go bag as well, which I really did like too. So if you want a deeper rest, instant cooling relief, and total darkness, go to mantasleep.com and grab a cooling mask today. Make sure you head to the site, use code SHAKE72 on your first purchase. Link is in the description. If you want to control your light, control your comfort, and control your cool, Manta Sleep is the place to go to get your best sleeping comfort. I want to thank Manta Sleep for sponsoring this piece of content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. What we did talk about is BG enough for this defensive line. Will they add more bodies? Well, it looks like there's some things going on right now where the Eagles might double dip at this position. Now, nothing has really been reported as of right now, but what I could say is this. You need a little bit more than what you have. Okay, I think you need another mid-tier player or somebody that, another rotational guy or something like that. I just don't see them giving up a ton of draft capital for a top edge rusher in the league or something like that, where we did see news from the Miami Dolphins, which they could be getting rid of Jalen Phillips, Matthew Judon, even Bradley Chubb in the mix. It looks like Miami could be dealing a lot of these players at the trade deadline to kind of hit the reset button. Miami's one of the few teams you got to keep an eye on, obviously, with a big fire sale coming. So wouldn't shock me as of right now, where Howie has already made a phone call on a few players over there, and I think you have to grab at least one of those guys. I just don't see them going after somebody a lot bigger than this, like a Max Crosby. I don't care if the Raiders are losing. I just don't see them going after a guy like that. But you never know. Usually the stuff that isn't talked about are certain trades that aren't talked about. Maybe there's a team out there that the Eagles have been calling for a specific player that we're not even thinking about right now. And that's something that they need to do. As well as the CB2 position that 1,000,000% needs to be fixed. They need to add another edge rusher. There's no doubt about it. So we will see in another week, what happens. Now, the Eagles actually brought back or tried out a wide receiver the other day, and Danny Gray. Remember Danny Gray was at training camp, and he was actually playing really well and then ended up getting hurt. It looks like they brought him in for a tryout. I would have to say that they're bringing him in for special teams, okay? Now, we got the Gibson kid from the Jets, the kick returner / wide receiver. He was one guy that got his first active start against the Vikings last week, and he played all right. I thought the returners actually did better than what they have been doing in most recent weeks. They were at least getting the ball to the 25-ish, to the 30. That's what we need, some more consistent returns there to put our offense in a better position. So I think Danny Gray might be more of a returner. He's got some speed to him. We just didn't see enough of him in the offseason program. I think it was a finger injury or something like that, and the Eagles just let him go. So Danny Gray, I guess, back to the fold. We'll see if they actually sign him this week and maybe be active for special teams. We'll see what happens. Michael Clay really needs to do better with this group, with this unit, and we'll see what happens this week. Well, it looks like A.J. Brown is at it again. I just don't, I'm not taking it personal because I feel like it means something else. But A.J. Brown went on social media once again, even after having a great day. The wide receivers having a fantastic day. Over 300 yards between A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. So A.J. Brown goes on Instagram and puts out a post saying, using me, but not using me. There are fans out there that are so mad over this. I think particularly this is really going towards the coaching staff. I don't think it has anything to do with like he needs more snaps. I think they're just not taking advantage of the matchups, and what you can get out of these receivers is a lot more than what you could get. And I don't know. I don't take this too personal, but AJ's got to realize this, dude. Every time he says something, whether it's in front of the reporters, whether it's on social media, it becomes the big news of the week. We have more things to worry about than what A.J. Brown has to say. And obviously with WIP and all these NFL outlets are going to pick this up. They're going to chew it up and they're going to spit it out on everybody. And everyone's just going to eat this news up, and it's just getting annoying. I don't take consideration in saying that this is like a shot at the team or anything like that, but he's got to know that this is what's going to happen. Yet again, he does this again. And it might not mean anything crazy, but I still worry that, like, it's just never anything isn't good enough. And I don't think, look, the offense is still not good enough. There's no evidence that this offense is fine. We don't have to worry about anything anymore, or anything like that. I mean, guys, realistically, have you looked at some of the other stats for this offense with Kevin PATULLO? And Kevin PATULLO had his press conference today, and I wasn't even happy about any of his answers. Honestly, he's ducking every damn question to give any type of answer to anything, and we just have to see it on the field. He's got an excuse for the run game. Saquon Barkley statistics, per yards per average. I mean, from quarter to quarter, it was like over 5 yards in the first quarter, and it just got worse until the fourth quarter. It got horrible till it went to like 1.5 yards per carry in the fourth quarter of this entire Vikings game. And that's what's going to happen. He's got an answer for that. There are literal plays that every coach uses every single game. I've never seen a bad screen pass in my life, but the Eagles have ran 13 screen passes. And you know what yards they average on screen passes? 3 yards every damn screen pass. The Eagles just can't get out of their own way when it comes to the hiring process, and then obviously starting brand new all over again with another coordinator that's coming in and doesn't know how to use the guys, especially a guy that's been here the last few years. I feel like I'm talking about the same shit over and over again every single week, but it is what it is. But these are the examples of, why the offense is capable of so much more, but putting in the most dunce guy that could really give your offense some type of fire to be one of the most explosive offenses. I mean, the amount of money you have into this offense, you can't do nothing with it. You are lucky you have the talent you have in this building, especially at wide receiver, because you wouldn't be doing shit without those 2 wide receivers. You wouldn't be doing nothing without Saquon Barkley sitting back there, whether he's getting the ball, whether it's predictable, or he's sitting back there like a decoy. Plain and simple, PATULLO is getting by because of talent, and that's what happened in 23, until we couldn't do anything much more. But that second half was great, but we keep talking about a half of football, a first half of football, a second half of football. When are they going to play? I'm not saying 4 perfect quarters, but goddamn, the first series, then you disappear until the second half. You can't do that against a better quarterback and a better team. That's my biggest issue. So I would say there are a lot of frustration. I think there is still frustration to get better. A.J. Brown just can't help himself at this point. I'd rather him complain than not complain at all, because that's just something that's just who he is, okay? I'm not even like mad at it, but he's got to realize that he's the talk of the week over anything. Okay, we don't get to hear other news during the week looking forward to a game because A.J. Brown says something, and that's the only thing that is talked about. That is the only thing that surfaces itself to the top over any type of important news that comes out, and it annoys me. So, frustration with A.J. Brown, I guess there is, but he really shouldn't be. I mean, I think this is a good step forward. The question is, can the Eagles continue this? And they need to win. They need to win Sunday against the New York Giants at the Link. Kelly Green, the big game. Now we're going to talk about the sponsor of this video, ProfitX. ProfitX is a peer-to-peer sports prediction market where users play against each other instead of a sports book versus the house. You will almost always get the best price on any spread, money line, total, and player props, since you're playing against other people rather than the book. Every touchdown, every moment creates a live market you control. Buy in when you're confident, cash out when the momentum flips. It's like trading stocks, but for sports. Profit Exchange runs over 40 states, and you must be at legal age to do so. This isn't your old sportsbook. This is the #1 sportsbook. The action moves fast, and so can you. Real-time, player-driven, and built for fans who see the game before it happens. So let's dive into the ProfitX market on the Philadelphia Eagles. Right now, the Eagles are sitting at plus 700 to win the Super Bowl, and yes, we're talking about this after one game. So the real question is, do you believe in Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, and this revamped defense enough to go all in at plus 700 and stay right there? Or do I go a little bit further than that? I think I'm going to stay, and I think I'm going to let the #1 sportsbook and Prophet X take care of the rest for me to help me make the better decision. Use promo code SHAKE72. You can get up to $200 cash back over your first 30 days. Every play you make, Prophet X gives you money back for playing on their platform, up to $200. Link in the description. Make sure you go to your app store and download the Prophet X app and use that promo code SHAKES72. I want to thank Prophet X for sponsoring this piece of content, and I will see you guys on the next one. Go Birds. Now, Vic Fangio had his press conference. Nice to see him yesterday, and he did talk about the Brandon Graham signing, that they need to see where he's at. Like I said before, it really it comes to his football shape. Okay, like, you know, look, as when you're working out for the season, it's much different than when you get the full pads on, you get into practice, you know. So I know that Brandon Graham has been some pass rushing, been doing some on-field stuff here and there, but they really need to get him on the field, see what he could do, you know, see his energy, see, you know, where he's at. To see if he's going to be included into this roster this week for the matchup on the New York Giants on Sunday. That's what's going to be really important. If he has any fatigue, that endurance has to be up, and he's got to be ready for it. So practice will tell everything. Vangio talked about the safety position with Andrew MUKUBA, and I could probably agree, and quote-unquote, he's been playing uneven. He is making plays at times, and sometimes he is giving up the biggest plays in the game, and he has done that on being pretty over-aggressive on some tackles and not wrapping up and not being technical. Because you're a small body, okay, at safety, you have to be more technical on your tackles. This isn't college football where all he's trying to do is he's trying to pull a Sidney Brown every time he makes a tackle. Some reckless big hit that literally does nothing. He did it against Patrick Mahomes. He got embarrassed. He did it against the New York Giants. He got embarrassed. He did it against the Vikings. He got embarrassed. So he's done it a few times this year, kind of reckless, has to be more technical. And, you know, I think with more time down the line, he will get better. There's been some back-end communication issues as well. He has missed on some coverage opportunities. So he's been, I'd probably agree with Fangio. He has been, quote-unquote, uneven in the process this year for his rookie year. Definitely has to get better. We got news on Nakobe Dean, Jahad Campbell, how that's going to continue the rest of the season. So Vic Fangio says he thought Jahad Campbell performed as an edge rusher like he thought he would. He said, quote-unquote, it's new out there. There's a lot to learn. The more he's out there, the better he'll get at it. So it looks like they're going to keep him at that edge rushing position. Nakobe Dean looked pretty damn good, I gotta say, for the amount of reps he got in that Vikings game. He looks pretty damn good, so couldn't really complain there. But at least we know that Vic is comfortable with keeping Jahad at the edge, and that's where they kind of want to keep him. And if he feels good about how he will get through this season to the end of the year, maybe we'll see a completely different player out of Jahad Campbell. I know he's got the physicality for it. Okay, I know he could be relentless. It could happen. We just got to wait for it. It's going to take probably a few games. Okay, the bye week probably isn't going to help, but, you know, I think with a little bit more work, I mean, that's another edge rusher you can have right there. The more players that can move in different spots in this defense, the better it's going to be, not just for now, but for the future of this team. So it seems like they're going to keep put with everything that they're doing between Nakobe next to Bond and then having Jahad Campbell as an extra edge rusher out there in the rotation. So not a bad thing at all. But other than that, that's pretty much it. This is a big week. This is Kelly Green. The Eagles never lose in Kelly Green. The most spectacular plays happen in Kelly Green. What do you think about the trade deadline? What do you think about Andrew MUKUBA for the season? How do you feel about Jahad Campbell staying at the edge and Fangio being kind of comfortable to see where he's at moving down the line of this season? Feels pretty comfortable with the situation, which is really good. You guys let me know. And how do you feel about A.J. Brown's post? You know, it's just opening another can of worms all over again. But I guess I'll see you on the next one. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Shakes well, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.